Good morning guys, it's Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. We're off on an adventure. We're in the old van and we're heading about 45 minutes away from home to, yes, you've seen by the title, clean out another house and shed. Although this one's not so much a house, it's mainly just stuff that they've moved into their garage, and there is some old stuff floating around the back of the shed, or the back shed, and also I think there's a bit of garden stuff. So it's a very typical situation really, in that we just clean up what the family don't want. The occupiers or the owners are deceased and the family are just wanting to sell the house. Very common scenario. So the family have all got what they want. They've sold what they wanted to sell. They pretty well didn't know what to do with the rest of it. They had already got rid of 2 skips full of stuff, which I never like hearing, and I'm glad I didn't see what went. They were quite amazed with what we take. Now we offered them, and when I say we, Kristen and I often do these deals together, but I'm just doing this one on my own. We usually say, don't get a skip in, don't throw anything out. And we offer to take all their electrical waste, because as you guys know, that's what I do. So anything electrical they've left for me to take, I don't usually pay anything for that. And then there's some nicer bits and pieces that I said, you know, we will certainly be buying it. You will be giving them some money. It's not just coming to scavenge. There is some pretty interesting old stuff. The guy apparently was a pharmacist, so there's some old chemist stuff, there's some old chemist jars, old scales and things like that. A little bit of household bric-a-brac, I think, I'm not sure. There will be some books. We said we didn't want the furniture, but they wanted to leave most of it in the house until the house sells anyway, which makes sense. So it's going to be interesting, a bit of a treasure hunt, and I will work out what to pay them once I've been through it. So they've left it up to our discretion there, which is nice, but we will be as honest as we can. We will give them what we consider a reasonable amount for what we have to do, given that we have to go and pick it up, we have to clean it up. Fortunately in this job though, we don't have to take the rubbish, we don't have to leave the place swept out, because they have family members locally that are happy to, well, I don't know if they're happy, but they're going to come in and finish it off. So basically we're just heading up there today to see what we can find of value that we're happy to pay for, plus take all their electrical e-waste and probably fill the van. So it's a pretty warm day. The van doesn't have air conditioning. I'll be putting the window back down in a minute. It's a bit stormy as well, so it could be an interesting day. I'll see you when we get there. Okay, we've just arrived. It's very steamy now. We just had a downpour and a few claps of thunder, so it's going to be one of those steamy, tropical kind of days. Lucky I bought 2 bottles of water. Thanks, Christine, for packing a spare. I do need to make another coffee. So it's a suburban house in a quiet sort of area, and I don't know how long the owner lived here before he passed away, but there's quite a lot of stuff around. A bit of stuff in the garden. We'll have a bit of a quick walk around. Most of the stuff's packed in the carport there, and there's stuff in the back shed which I haven't been into yet. So let's go and have a look. So I've received a text and numerous instructions about what to take and what not to. We do get to take that nice old cast iron garden seat, which will probably go really well at our place. I think that sewing machine base with the concrete top has been claimed. I'll check my notes. We get to take that barbecue. It is electric. I guess we got to take all bits and pieces that are electric hanging around. The 2 outdoor settings up here, the family want to keep. That's fine. This one's an aluminium one, it's not a cast iron one, so it's fairly modern. Unfortunately they wanted to keep this seat as well. It's a really nice old cast iron seat, very sort of bushland like with the branches and that. I think it's made locally by Furphy Foundry, so it's a really nice seat that, but they're keeping that, that's fine. We do get to take that table though, I think. Obviously needs a new top on it, but nice old cast iron base. And there's some other stuff around. I said that we didn't want the barbecue, and they're happy to get rid of stuff that we don't want. I'll probably take the wheelbarrow and just a couple of knickknacks. I'm not going to take, well, those old plastic chairs are really no value at all. That little garden wheelbarrow thing might be handy. I think the bike has to stay. I will check on that. And there is a half barrel in there, so that might be cool at our place. There are some various pots around that we are allowed to take, and terracotta pots are very expensive to buy. There's a nice concrete pot, really nice one. I'd like to grab that, but it's going to be very heavy. Let's go and have a look in the shed. And it's really good we don't have to clean it out, because sheds notoriously have so much junk, and they also have chemicals, and I really don't like dealing with them. They're a pain. You can't just throw them in the rubbish. which key have we got here? So yes, the family, local members of the family are going to get rid of all the stuff that I leave. Is it? Oh, it's not even locked. Well, there you go. Okay, paint, good. That can stay. I don't want paint. There's a, what's that? Is that a lawnmower? A robo lawnmower? I think it is. I'm not sure if we've got to take that. I might have to make a couple of calls. There's a workbench thing there. Some of these frames with glass tops, I'm not going to worry about them. They would sell, but take up so much space. We don't need them in the shop. There is, when we had a quick peek here the other day, there is a very old computer. I think it's the original computer in that box. So that looks like quite an early one. And the monitor is in this box. Old CRT monitor. Still in its original packaging. I'm not sure what brand it is. We'll get that out in the light and have a bit of a look at that. But that comes under e-waste, so we'll be taking that. The cupboards are all going to stay here. I'm not sure if there's stuff in them or not. A little bit. Mostly empty, mostly probably paperwork and that, which we will leave. So I'm just going to have a rummage through the shed. There's some garden tools. I think they wanted to keep some. I'll check a note on that. Actually, I reckon that spot there has all been put aside for them to keep. And I can ring them if there's any doubts at all. What's in this one? I think this one had a lot of hardware in it. We did have a look in here the other day. Parts drawers. Toolbox. Yeah, I think I'll be scooping most of this into a couple of crates and sorting it out at home. But yeah, some interesting hardware. It's a nice old workbench here with an old carpenter's type vise mounted to it. We'll try and take that if we can. The bench grinder is certainly electrical. There's all sorts of pocket knives. So we need to have a good rummage through there to see if there's anything worthwhile. Nothing much has been done in this shed. In fact, I don't think anything really has been done in this shed since we were last here. I think most of those boxes are paperwork, but I will check. Garden chemicals can stay. Yeah, we'll have to have a rummage through. I'll show you as I find stuff. Don't think there's any old oil bottles or anything. There's a petrol blower, so I'll have to check on some of those. Not sure what that is. It's clearly electrical. Okay, so lots to check in here. It's going to take quite a while to do this job. I really just want to get it done today, so I don't want to muck around too much. There's a Makita hedge trimmer. That's a corded one. Okay. All right, I guess it probably won't take too long to go through this shed. I'll just work at it from one corner and move my way along. And anything I'm not sure on, I'll give them a call or text them a picture. But what's in there? What are these things? Power supply adapter in box. Goodness, not even sure what some of this is. Mind you, I don't have my glasses on at the moment. So we'll check that out. There could be some interesting stuff in there. Certainly some vintage stuff. There's a little battery out of a motorbike or something. An old frame here. An old etching, I guess it is. An English one. Nice frame. We might do something with that. All right, let's go and have a look in the other shed because that's where the bulk of it is. And I hope it doesn't rain anymore. Really don't want it pouring rain. Oh, there's a lawnmower out here on the go. So maybe that was the old model in the shed. It must buzz around here like 24/7. It does well to handle the rough ground. Husqvarna auto mower. And the lawn's actually looking pretty neat. Obviously it doesn't mind the rain. All right, let's have a look at the other shed. Okay, I've been in here, I've turned a light on, and there are a lot of boxes of stuff. So they've emptied the house. I don't need to go in the house, it's actually locked up. There's some really nice old chemist jars here. Very early, all with ground glass stoppers and some with mysterious contents. Some old books up the top, so I'll have to pack those up. But all sorts of curious things there. A lot of average stuff. Boxes of coat hangers I'll probably leave. I don't really want suitcases unless they're nice vintage ones. Household chemicals. There's a 1960s serving tray, they sell okay. Some brass pots. So it's pretty much everything household, and most of this is going to be modern. There are some old books in there. I think there was some old pharmacy scales somewhere. Lots of electrical e-waste. I said put everything electrical out for me and I'll take the lot. So we might get some vintage stuff. That looks like an old cassette player, little boombox. This looks old, but I think it's a reproduction of some sort. Oh, it's got cassettes in the top. Interesting. But even if it is a reproduction, it will still sell okay. A TV or maybe a computer monitor. Lots of cords. So some good value there electrically. Looks like probably a VHS player, maybe 2 of them. More cords. I think there's a whole box of remotes. And I have got a couple of things that we've already got that was dropped off. And when we were here for a quick look, we took an old computer back, an old Apple Macintosh. I'll show you that one when we get home. It's a really nice piece, and I'll probably put that on eBay actually. So toaster looks good. A lot of this stuff is going to be perfectly fine to clean up and sell, although we don't get much for it, as you know. But I would rather keep most of it in circulation than throw it out. Not sure what that is, a tool chest maybe? That's cool. Ironing board, a large mirror against the wall there, but I think that's a fairly modern one. Even a little trolley. What's in these little drawers? Nothing, but they're cute. And I'll put the roller door up. I think we'll be able to see a bit better. But I guess I better start loading. Now, the stuff on the other side, I think we've got to take some of this too. There was only a few things. I wanted to keep the bike. And there was a shelf with stuff on it somewhere. I have to check my photos. Oh, all this gardening stuff here they wanted. So that's fine. That can all stay. And there's a little shelf here with some stuff out of the house. A pen holder with an old car on it. Not sure what that is. Timber ornament of some sort. So, all right, I guess, oh, there's a barometer. We got asked for a barometer in the shop the other day and we didn't have one. A little lamp here, that's quite a vintage one. It looks a bit Art Deco. Oh, maybe it's not as old as it looks. Pot plant stand in there is quite good. All right, I better check my photos and see exactly what they want and what I can pack up. And I guess I'll open the roller door and start loading some of the bigger stuff that I'm going to take in the van. And I'll have to get those pot plants and that garden seat in. And that cast iron benches probably have to go in first. All right, best get to work. Okay, a bit more thunder and that weather is heading towards us. So it's starting to rain now. I think I'm going to have to maybe have a coffee until it stops. But I can roll a few things up. This is a horn sewing cabinet. It actually has a platform that raises sort of hydraulically. I think it's on springs when you open that out and becomes a sewing centre with a workbench. They used to sell quite well. They used to get $100 plus. It's an older one, I think, but I reckon that's worth rolling. It's on wheels, so I think that's worth rolling up into the van. We could probably sell that on Facebook Marketplace. I won't be putting that in the shop. This is a little tool chest. It doesn't look like a particularly good quality one, but it has got pretty good drawers here, and they do have some old tools in it. And I don't know what that is. Looks like a giant staple remover or something. Nice old hammer. That's certainly got some age to it. Look at that. With a nail puller in the middle. I like that hammer. So there's some value in there. So I think we'll take the tool chest. Plus also I'm going to need boxes. I don't have a lot of boxes. Even though a lot of the stuff here is boxed up, it won't stack at all. So, and I think you guys have heard me whinge before about when you're packing boxes, make sure they're flat and they can be stacked on, because it's hard to get a good load in the van if they're all like this. So lots of electricals, some power boards. I'll probably use some of those myself. Yamaha, I assume that's an old keyboard of some sort. Let's open it and have a look. Some of the vintage keyboards can sell okay. I think I've just closed it. There we go. Oh yeah. All right, it's an older one. It looks in good condition. If nothing else, it'll sell for $10 or $20 as a kid's one, but it might be better than that. Old cassette drawers, more electricals. Looks like a printer. There's CDs down there. Okay, and books. So I better dig out the heavy boxes to put in first. and then this messy stuff can go on top. And will I take the chairs? I don't know. See if I've got room. Chairs are notoriously bad to pack. So the stuff over there against the wall, the tool chest up the top, that's stuff they did want to keep. I'm not sure about that pedestal there, though. It's right next to the shelf. I better check on that one. The last thing I want to do is take something I'm not supposed to. This looks like some sort of, what do they call it, a latch hook. Some sort of craft, and the frame's not much good, so that can stay. So I will sort stuff into what I'm going to take and what I'll leave. Those storage containers will probably be handy. A 21st key, well, it's been a long time since my 21st, so I think it's only made out of plywood and it looks a bit damaged, so yeah, falling apart. That can stay here. Oh, a homemade gun. That is cool. And it's got a ratchet, so it sounds like a machine gun. Can I do this one-handed? Here we go. Can't quite do it one-handed, but how cool is that? A great old homemade toy. So that would sell really well in the shop. Of course, I have to be careful advertising we sell guns, but it's a beautiful old piece of timber workmanship. All right, I better stop fossicking. I need to get some stuff loaded. The rain's just lightly falling, so we should be able to load a little bit before it gets too heavy. So fortunately, there's been no more heavy rain, and I've managed to get some ornaments and things out of the garden. I took that bench apart because the boards on the top were all rotten, so it's much easier with the stay disconnected. They pack better. I'm going to do the same with that bench seat out there. I decided to do this while it's still overcast and it's cool enough, because if the sun comes out this afternoon, it's going to be pretty much unbearable to work outside. So I've got all this stuff lined up. It will probably go in the van last, but at least I've got it all ready to go. I did find a demijohn in the garden. It's a large chemical one, but it's quite badly damaged. The handle's broken off it, and they're not worth a great deal, but still it's worth grabbing. A nice little cast iron pot plant stand. It's only modern. It's got Phillips head screws in there, but it is cast iron and it looks quite cute. Even a little cast iron sausage dog boot scraper. And again, it's probably fairly modern, but that's a cool find. So I've got some of the stuff in the van. I've started packing right up the front. Got that sewing station in and a few boxes of cords. So I haven't done much more in here. I did dig out a few things to show you. This old radio looks like an old radio. It's an earlier reproduction. It's probably 1970s or 80s. It does take cassettes. GE Classic radio player. It's made to look like a 1930s Art Deco timber cabinet. It probably is timber, although probably only plywood. Certainly the modern reproductions you find now are just basically plastic. But that's cool. Hopefully it works. If not, we might have to try and fix it up. The little boombox in here is a Sanyo one. That looks kind of nice. So I like those. I like. My boombox collection is growing, even though I'm still in denial that I'm actually a collector. There's a VHS movie camera, I presume, in there. I haven't opened that. And this I thought might have been a reel-to-reel tape player, but it turns out it's a slide projector. So we'll have to check that out and see if it works. But that can all come home, of course. In the boxes, well, there's lots of cords, so that's great. Some good value for me as far as copper goes, for whatever can't be sold. Some more power boards and things in there. There's a really heavy tool chest over there. I guess I can take that one. It's got a key in it too. Let's see if there's any tools in it. Okay, it's not locked. It's empty, but it's a really nice chest. So that will sell very well. There's a nice, fairly modern big floor lamp here with 3 lights on it. So, all right, I better keep going here. I think I might keep going outside and maybe get into the back shed, because that's going to be very hot if the sun comes out as well. And I can throw this stuff in the van mid-afternoon if it's, it's still going to be hot doing this, but at least it's probably the best place to work from. Okay, I've just got that vintage computer down off the top of the cupboard, and I've taken the monitor out of the box. It's a really old little monitor, but something weird's going on. I think something's spilt through the top of the box, and it looks like there's green sort of growth or something actually underneath that front screen. It's not just on the top. Maybe that front screen is just a separate glare type screen, like a filter or something, and the picture tube might be okay. I can't imagine there's going to be stuff inside the CRT itself, but it's a cute little monitor. But yeah, it's had something dripping through it because it's come out the back. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I can't read the model VR2 something. And I can't read the date. Made in Taiwan. Okay, oh here we go. What's more information down here? So there we go, that's what it is. It's probably worth pulling apart and seeing if I can clean it. It might be just a monochrome monitor. It probably isn't colour. So pretty cool, vintage computer stuff. And there's a keyboard. Let's have a look in here. I haven't opened this. Be nice if it was a Model M IBM, but I don't think it is. Oh, it's a bit faded. Okay, let's lift this out. Digital, so that's the same brand as the monitor. It's got a model LK201AZ. It probably would be 1980s, early 1980s. There is a barcode on it, which I don't think came in before the 80s anyway. And of course, before the 1980s, computers were very primitive. So it might be mid-80s. Possibly it isn't even a normal personal computer keyboard. It may have been for business. So we'll check that out a bit more. It obviously needs clean. Let's see what the actual PC is, assuming it's in here. I have not opened this. It was heavy, so there's certainly something in here. 83, would that be the year? Well, it looks like it's all original with its packaging. Now the guy was a pharmacist, so there's chemist labels everywhere. So it would have been probably a business computer. Let's see if we can see the front on it. That's the back. Well, is it? Here, that was the side. Here's the front. Digital Rainbow 100. So certainly pretty vintage. I don't know what that is. Not sure. I'll have to check all this out. There's no floppy drive. Maybe that's some sort of business drive. Okay, well, we'll pack it up, get it in the van, and I'll sort it out another day. I'll no doubt report on it to you guys. And if you know anything about these things, by all means, let me know in the comments. Okay guys, in the interests of making a video a reasonable length, I'll finish this one up now. I'll put it up when I get a chance, maybe tonight if I get home in time to have it edited. I'll start filming part 2 right now and you'll see that in a day or two. I need to stop talking to my phone and get some stuff in the van. It's about lunchtime. I need to get this done and I don't want to be here all day and there's still a lot to do. I'll be filming when I pack up some stuff in the shed, of course, but I need to get some stuff in the van now. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.